everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's adventure is all about my Arrma Kraton 6S EXB, but this Kraton is a little different now because the original motor decided it had enough and officially retired. So instead of replacing it with the original 6S setup, I thought, why not make things a little more interesting? I installed the motor and ESC combo from my Kraton 8S. Unfortunately, there's one small problem. There simply isn't enough room for two 4S batteries. So I decided to run it with one 6S battery instead. To make that work, I installed a 23-tooth pinion, basically overgearing the Kraton in the hope that one 6S battery will be enough to give me the speed I'm looking for. Because apparently, making things complicated is one of my special talents. So basically, this is no longer the Kraton I started with. New motor, new gearing, new steering servo, and new tires. The only question is, have I created a much better Kraton, or have I simply created a much more expensive way to break things? There's only one way to find out. So let's take this beast outside and see what this 6S EXB can do with an 8S power system. Let's go! And apparently, I'm getting wiser with age. So before I start sending this thing into orbit, I'm going to check everything properly. I've got my heat gun ready, and I'll be keeping a close eye on the temperatures. Right now, the motor is sitting at a nice and healthy 27 degrees Celsius. So far, so good. But I'll be checking the temperature regularly during the run, just to make sure the motor, ESC, and everything else aren't getting too hot. Because braking an RC car is fun, but braking an RC car because you ignored the temperature, that's just expensive stupidity. So let's take it easy, keep an eye on the temperatures, and see how this 6S Kraton with an 8S power system performs. And there is definitely no shortage of speed. I have to say, I'm really impressed with this setup. That 23-tooth pinion seems to be the perfect solution for running this Kraton on a single 6S battery. There's plenty of speed, plenty of power, and it still feels like a proper Kraton. So, in my opinion, if you want to run this 8S motor and ESC combo on the 6S Kraton, but don't have room for two 4S batteries, this 23-tooth pinion might just be the perfect solution. One 6S battery, plenty of power, and a whole lot of fun. And, most importantly, I haven't broken anything yet. Well, not yet. Maybe I'm checking the temperature a little sooner than necessary, but hey, better safe than sorry. So let's see how things are doing after that first run. 34 degrees Celsius. Nothing exciting going on here. The motor is still nice and cool, so everything seems to be working exactly as it should. And now it's time to have some fun. I'm going to do some laps around the vast track with Mark again. Hopefully this time we can manage to drive around without hitting each other. Although, let's be honest, a successful bash day isn't really a successful bash day unless I secretly manage to hit Mark at least once. So Mark, if you're watching this, I'm sorry in advance. Let's see who can survive the longest without taking each other out. And while trying my best to avoid hitting Mark, I have to say, I am seriously impressed with this Kraton. It drives really nicely. The steering feels fantastic thanks to the perfect fast servo, and the grip from these new Proline tires is absolutely amazing. The Kraton feels planted, responsive, and just really fun to drive. So far, the setup is turning out even better than I expected. Now, all I have to do is keep my eyes on the track, and more importantly, keep my eyes on Mark. All right, enough talking. Let's go and see if I can accidentally hit him this time. Finally, I am behind Mark. And if I want to keep one important tradition alive today, I now have one mission. Hit Mark. I've been waiting for this moment all day. Let's see if I can catch him without making it look too obvious. Sorry, Mark, but traditions are traditions. Well, at least one thing is certain. My day is complete. I finally managed to hit Mark, so the tradition has been officially respected. Mission accomplished. But apparently the Kraton wanted to make sure I didn't enjoy that moment for too long, because shortly afterwards, nothing. The Kraton simply stopped driving. I'm not exactly sure what happened yet, and I can't properly see the problem here at the track, so I'm not going to start tearing the whole thing apart. For now, this is where the Kraton's day ends. I'll have to take it home, investigate the problem, and hopefully get it back up and running soon. And the temperatures? Absolutely fine. The motor never went above 50 degrees Celsius, so at least overheating wasn't the problem. So, new motor, new tires, new servo, and apparently a new problem. But hey, I did get to hit Mark, so I'll call that a successful day. There she is again, the backup car. Time to make sure those batteries don't go home fully charged. But first, a little update on the Kraton. The problem was actually incredibly simple. One of the motor wires had come loose, and somehow I completely missed it. I honestly don't know how I didn't see it. But hey, at least the Kraton wasn't broken. That's always a nice surprise. And now it's time for some more bashing with my trusty Arrma fire team. And honestly, driving the fire team is absolutely no punishment. It gives me pretty much the same kind of fun as the Kraton, just with a different name on the side. So while the Kraton gets a little rest, the fire team is more than happy to take over. Let's keep bashing. And after a few spectacular crashes, a little mark hunting, and a Kraton that decided to take an unexpected coffee break, I think it's finally time to call it a day. But despite the little technical drama, I had a fantastic day of bashing, plenty of speed, and more than enough crashes to keep things interesting. And of course, I managed to keep the important tradition alive and hit Mark. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and maybe leave a comment below. It really helps the channel, and it's always great to hear what you guys think. Thanks again for watching and for joining me on another RC adventure. Stay healthy, keep RCing, and as always, on to the next RC adventure.